These tents are less than a minute from my front porch, you know, and they're on the direct route on the way to another camp at the river, so they pass my house all the time. I understand why they're here and don't want to leave, but we've lost our library. We've lost our neighborhood. I can't walk down this street with my daughter and feel okay about it. Like, my house is on the other end of that alley.
Donnie Knutson bought his house in this neighborhood 8 years ago. Since then, a lot has changed. In 2019, Austin tried a more humane and progressive approach to homelessness, ending its ban on camping, which made it legal to sleep in most public spaces. The change meant unhoused people weren't saddled with fines or criminal records for sleeping on the street, but it also led to a boom in encampments in residential areas.
These are all like 1920s homes, and they all have historic status. No one wants to live here anymore. It's hard because I do view the homeless people here as my neighbors. Where are they gonna go? Like, the city hasn't told us what the plan is, partly because they don't have a plan.
Now a group of Austinites says the city made a mistake. A campaign called Save Austin Now, started largely by local conservatives, has pushed a proposition onto the ballot that would force the city to reverse course. Voters will decide on May 1st. For a progressive like Knutson, it's an agonizing ethical question, one he and his neighbors confront every day.
Lifting the ban was not a solution, but putting the ban back in place isn't a solution either. I don't think either one of them are solutions.
So what is the solution?
Well, a lot of money in housing. I don't know. I mean, most big cities are having these problems.
What do you think is going to happen with the vote?
I don't know, because I mean, if you talk to Donnie's friends, you know, they're going to all vote against it. Most of my friends that I know, and even some fairly liberal friends are going to, you know, vote to reinstate the ban.
I think I'm gonna vote against it, just so I have, but I hope there's a lot of people that vote for it. And that's weird to say. Like, it troubles me that I just said that.
Because you want to feel good about how you vote, but you want it to go away.
It's messed up. I don't want them arrested. I don't want them put in a van and driven to another neighborhood, because then that neighborhood's just got a problem. That's not the answer.
Do you think if you had seen this issue happening in another city and it wasn't happening in your neighborhood, you would feel differently?
Once you're in the middle of it, you change your mind of how you approach the situation. But as your safety declines, so does your compassion. Every time I have to pick up human shit, my liberalness just got lowered one more notch.
Austin isn't the only progressive city dealing with a rise in homeless encampments in public areas. The coronavirus pandemic has sent millions of Americans into poverty, and cities like Los Angeles, Oakland, and Portland are struggling with how to handle their growing tent cities. Austin's last official count found more than 2,500 people experiencing homelessness. Mayor Steve Adler says ending the camping ban hasn't caused the number to go up, it's just made the problem more visible. Was it a mistake to lift the ban?
It was absolutely not a mistake to lift the ban. I think that sometimes you really need disruptive action if you're trying to make change.
Do you think it's reasonable for people to be fed up with the situation?
Yes, I would hope that people in our community would look at the face, the extent of homelessness in our community and be fed up, but be fed up in a way that points them to helping our neighbors and not fed up with the answer being, make this so that I just can't see it.
If it does pass, what happens to those people?
If it does pass, I think that it's going to result in a greater number of people going back to the woods and to the streams where they were less visible, less safe, less protected, less able to be tied to resources and help and assistance. So I'm concerned about it passing and creating an expectation in some parts of our community that somehow or another these people will at that point disappear, because they won't.
Last week, the city finally announced a comprehensive proposal that would put federal COVID relief cash towards housing for 3,000 people over the course of the next 3 years. In the meantime, the daily job of addressing the needs of the city's unhoused falls to people like Wes Bickham.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
I need to really see a caseworker.
Okay.
I'm sure I can get somebody out here. Appreciate it. I think most people would agree that we shouldn't have human beings living like this. And so when something comes up that looks like a possible answer for that, it's really easy to hop on that and say, people don't deserve to live like that. We need to ban people camping wherever they want. People don't understand how many folks there are and how limited resources there are. The family that you're evicting with no place to go, is on your mind thinking about where are they tonight? Where did they go? And that's extremely hard to keep doing this job, knowing that there's no place for them to go.
So do you know about this camping ban that might go into effect if it passes?
I've been hearing about it
What would that do to you guys?
because we won't break the law.
What do you guys need?
Place to live. Place to live. And homeless shelters, I've been in them. And everything I own, they took. So why should you live in a homeless shelter when they're going to take from you?
So that doesn't feel like a good option for you
No,
either.
it's not. That's why I'm here.
No.
And do I hate being out here? Yes, I do. I really do.
You are?
Wes,
Yeah, we've met. It's good to see you again, man. You're looking younger.
no, don't tell me that.
So you're getting calls from families using this park?
Using this park and 300 other parks. We roughly get about 50 complaints per week.
And they just want you to move.
They just want them moved, right? There are some people who definitely want them to be housed, but there's definitely a population that says, not our problem.
What happens if camping becomes illegal again? What happens to these people?
I can move this whole camp out. The people still exist. They have no place to go. This will be created somewhere else, period. If someone's experienced homelessness and they've just lived here or somewhere else for 10 years, getting them back into a four-wall building, doing the things that society dictates you have to do, that takes time. I'm for limiting where people can be, but you have to give a viable location for them to be in. A viable location means it's near the resources in the community that they'd like to be, and it has access so they can get their life back on track, right? You have to be able to shower every day. It's basic hygiene. You have to be able to use the restroom. That's basic hygiene. Wash your clothes. And so we have to get them to places that can do that. You can't just say, okay, here's a field. You can camp here, but you can't camp over here. That's not a viable location. It will not be successful. And it will fail and they will have trouble from that. So that's why I like the transitional housing approach. Like, you can't stay here, but here's a legal camping location you can be in, and then you start engaging with them and you get them low barrier employment where you can get a job, believe in yourself again, and that's where growth starts happening, where they believe they can have a better future.